you start. Elite barbarians. They now have rage-tipped spears. Like, it's a new addition, but spears doesn't help them a lot. Like, if your opponent has P.E.K.K.A, it just doesn't matter. Or Mega Knight, like giving them spears just doesn't do anything, so it's not that helpful. Then we have Zappies, plus 100% hit speed. It causes a perma-stun, but most people run poison or fireball, so most of the time they don't do their job. It can be helpful, but not with fireball and poison on the line. Tesla is a new addition. It tags up to 4 targets. Very good if, especially when your opponent knows how to exploit it. You can kind of counter it by not playing into, just play single target, single unit, like Mega Knight or P.E.K.K.A or Giant. But if you don't know that your opponent has this modifier, it can really mess you up. So you just gotta watch out. Then next one is Suspicious Push. Reveals vines. Not good. Because your opponent can just delay. Like, if your opponent has more than one brain cell, they will just delay their counter. And since the Suspicious Push got nerfed, so it pops like a tile before your tower, in front of your tower, it just gives the opponent way more time to react, even if it reveals vines. Next one is the Executioner. 100% hit points. You just don't play an Executioner solely for its hit points. Like it's very tanky, but Executioner doesn't deal a lot of damage. Use it for like air cards, like Lava Hound, but not a lot of people play Lava Hound. And so there are better options than using Executioner just for its HP. Rune Giant, not very good in this mod, like in this C.H.A.O.S mod. What it does, it gives better buffs. Like later we will see, like with Lava Hound, there's like an exploit you can do. So you can only use her when you run Lava Hound. But other than that, just by herself, they're just better tanks in this game mode. And she's a good card to begin with. Like Supercell nerfed her into oblivion, so there's no real point in running her. Ronin, the new card. Like by itself, it's a very good card. I like the parry concept. Is great at countering P.E.K.K.A. And this reduces the parry cooldown. Like it's normally like 3.5 seconds. I don't know exactly what this modifier changes it to, like 2 seconds or something. Depends on like if you're dumb and play P.E.K.K.A into it, then yeah, it can be really frustrating. But like the card itself is like really good. I'm really a fan of this card. It's fast, which I didn't expect it, because it like functions like a knight, like it's a knight type or a night witch, like in those It's like this kind of card, but it's fast. Didn't expect Supercell to make it fast. It did great damage, and it's just a great card. Like, I'm happy that they added this card to the game. Also, I think it's like the first card, besides like P.E.K.K.A, I think, that got its own name. Like, Furnace is the Furnace, a Log is the Log, a Musketeer is a Musketeer, the Wizard is the Wizard. Like, they all just have names on what they are. Like, the Giant is a Giant, the Knight is a Knight, but Ronin is like a name. And I didn't call him, like, in the comics I call him like Swords Guy or something like that. Like, I'm happy they gave him an actual name. He's not the Swords Guy. So they don't play into the comic, the king, which calls him Sports Guy. Instead of like calling him, or like calling him just Samurai, they gave him an actual name. Good doing. Knight, I don't understand why they didn't nerf him. He's one of the strongest modifiers in the entire game mode. Not only is the Knight common, and this, like, this modifier is common, but it's like, again, like one of the strongest ones. It gives the Knight 200 plus HP, 200% more HP, and reduces its speed by 50%. Absolutely broken. If you have a cheap cycle card, a cheap cycle deck, you can just basically cycle him in the bag over and over again, and the time it takes the opponent to just kill one of them, even if they have P.E.K.K.A. Where is he? Even if they have P.E.K.K.A, it just takes them way too long to just kill one of them. Like, he has so much HP, like golem worth of HP, just for 3 elixir. Like, most of the time, if I get this modifier as like my first modifier, since it's common, I win the game. I just cycle my deck, even though my deck I use isn't very cheap. I just cycle knights. They have, like, you make a push on the right side, on the left side you just place knight, and they have no chance. Because for 3 elixir you get the golem. A golem who can attack, like defend itself. So absolutely busted. I don't understand why they didn't nerf it. Makes no sense. Giant plus 300% movement speed. Seems intimidating at first, but if it reaches your tower, it just deals normal giant damage. And if you played the game mode, you've noticed that your towers have way more HP, like almost double HP. So a giant hit deals only so much damage, so you can just ignore it. Like, getting the few more hits or amount of damage doesn't really change anything. Your tower is very tanky. So it seems intimidating, especially if you don't know this mod. Like, you just see the giant like flying to your tower, but other than that, not that intimidating. Then rocket, a bouncy rocket. There's just better spells in this game mode. Rocket, fireball, poison. And you could accidentally activate the king tower with that. King tower in this mode isn't that important, but still, just like, poison exists, so why would you use a rocket? I mean, you have more elixir, like elixir's ramped up in this game mode, but just use poison. Next one is rascals. 2 extra rascal gods doesn't change anything. If your opponent has arrows or log or even fireball poison, again elixir is faster, so making plus, like you make +1 elixir by using by just poisoning them, or with a log you get even more value. Doesn't, like, rascal gods are almost always dead 1 second after they appear, so it doesn't change anything. Princess, 100% hits plus 100% hit speed. Actually pretty good. In most circumstances, the princess is like dead 2 seconds after she's deployed. But if you place her on the bridge and your opponent is caught off guard, she can get like 2 or even 3 hits before she dies. So if your opponent has a princess with that modifier, you have to really pay attention. Like, if you're unlucky in normal Clash Royale, she can get 2 hits, but in this case she can get like 3 or 4 hits if you react slow or don't have a counter. The only good thing is that your princess tower again has more HP, so it can be more forgiving if you ignore the princess here. Mega Knight, plus 100% jump attack, mediocre. Like, you just don't let him jump. Like, modifiers like the knight are so strong because like you can't do anything against them. Like, the knight has more HP. Like, there's nothing you can prevent the knight to have this modifier. But with knight, with Mega Knight, you just don't let him jump. And if you play the game for a while, you know how to distract Mega Knight with a knight, for example. Wizard has a bigger splash radius. Doesn't change a lot. The damage is the same, and if your deck is mostly just single unit troops like Knight or Mega Knight or Ronin, doesn't do anything. You just have to watch out that you don't place your troops as close as to your princess tower so it doesn't splash. But other than that, not very good. Can be countered pretty easily with P.E.K.K.A, Musketeer, yeah. Lava Hound, plus 100, like plus 500% hit speed. This is what I referred to earlier with the Rune Giant. If you know the exploit where the Rune Giant gives the Lava Hound a buff that every 3 hits, the Lava Hound deals like 200 damage. But since the Lava Hound has a crazy high hit speed, the damage is insane. So by itself, this buff is useless because you don't play Lava Hound for its damage. Combined with the Rune Giant, it isn't as bad, but you have to get this combination on the field. It's 11 elixir, and you can't play anything else. So you don't risk the Rune Giant giving a different troop a buff. So only, like, you have to get this specific Lava Hound buff, and if you don't, you just have a worthless card in your deck. So together they can be good, but other than that, not very. Plus Night Witch, plus 6 bats on defeat, worthless. I personally never understood why Night Witch even has a death spawn. I never care about this one bat that you get when the regular Night Witch dies. And 6 bats doesn't change anything. Like almost always die. And even if all of them connect to your tower has more HP. Bats are just bats. It doesn't change anything. So I would never pick that. Mortar. Plus 100% hit speed. If it locks on the tower, this can result in more damage. But if your opponent knows how to distract it with like a giant or Mega Knight, 2 times hit speed just doesn't cut it. It would be better if it was like 3 times hit speed. And you have to remember, Elixir is faster in this game mode, so getting a connection is highly unlikely. You have a lot of tanks here, like Giant, Mega Knight, Ronin, Knight, P.E.K.K.A down here. Yeah, it just doesn't... You won't get a connection if your opponent has more than 2 brain cells. So, yeah. Royal Giant is new, I think. Splash damage. Oh no, I don't think it's new. Useless. Why would you want splash damage from your Royal Giant? Like, he attacks buildings and he did splash damage because you have a ton of buildings at the same place. Like, why? Why would you give him splash damage? Just give him the evolution trait. Or make him shoot faster. Like, if a card needs a higher hit speed, why give it the Lavon and not the Royal Giant? Useless. Arrows, I think that is a new addition. Double volley. It already kills what it's supposed to kill, and just throwing arrows twice isn't needed most of the time. I don't know if it kills like wizards. And the chip damage on the tower doesn't matter at all, so also I wouldn't choose that. There are better spells than arrows in this game mode. Goblin barrel, impact damage. On offense, it doesn't really change anything. Your opponent just has to play their counter later. The good thing is you can use it defensively or like as a fireball. Like, it becomes basically a fireball hybrid. Like, it's just a fireball with goblin barrel. So it can be actually quite useful if your opponent runs musketeer or furnace and you don't have a fireball poison in your deck. Zap. Is this a new addition? Reduces enemy levels by 3. Doesn't change much. Like, you use Zap for like small things like skellies or other small things do we have here? Zappies, or like those bush goblins, or maybe like rascals, and reducing their level by 3 doesn't do anything. Or the cards where it would matter, like P.E.K.K.A or like what else, Golem. Why would you zap a P.E.K.K.A? It doesn't make any sense. Like, why? Like, why would you zap just a wizard? Just throw a fireball on it. Like, you waste 2 elixir not getting rid of the card, just reducing its level. But interesting concept. Rage increases its radius by 200%. Not useful. Like, it doesn't change the effect, it doesn't make the rage stronger, and most of the time, like, you don't need it. Like, there's a reason why rage has the radius it has. So just increasing the radius doesn't change anything. Most of the time, you know where the troops are and where you place your rage. Like, you have to be partially blind to miss a rage. Like, it's not a rocket. Like, I would never pick that. Hunter has projectiles have a bigger range. Not very useful. Like, Hunter is a melee card disguised as a range card. Like, you want the troops to be close to you, to your Hunter, so the bullets traveling a bigger distance just doesn't change anything. Like, you don't want to have a card like the bullets hit cards like 10 tiles away, or how long this goes, 8 tiles or something. Doesn't do anything. Like, by that point the bullets are so far apart that units are only get hit by one bullet. So the only reason I can think of to pick this mod is if your opponent for some reason plays counters like directly next to you, to their princess tower, so some of the bullets hit the princess tower. But like, why would you do that? Musketeer has like a hunter has 5 shots. Most of the time it's just a regular musketeer. In order to use this mod, you have to awkwardly place your musketeer inside a troop. But unlike the hunter, she just doesn't have the HP to afford that. Like, there's a reason hunter has more HP than the musketeer. And most of the times, like, troops walk into her, so the opponent decides whether or not this mod is useful. If the opponent just places ranged troops or buildings, this mod is completely useless. Even if the musketeer hits the tower, not more than 1 bullet hit. So not very useful. But if you know how to use it, like, you can make it worth it. Ram Rider, plus 100% charge damage. Getting a Ram Rider to connect in this mode is extremely unlikely. There are multiple buildings, you have more elixir, and like, getting a Ram Rider to charge at all, and then just 2 times 100% more damage doesn't really cut it. Again, towers have more HP, so relatively it doesn't make a difference. Like, you can just let her connect and your tower loses like 1000 HP, but it has like 6000 HP. Ram Rider in general isn't a good card in this game mode. The log, useless, absolutely useless. It gives like a boomerang effect where it goes forward and then backwards. Not a single time have I ever thought to myself, I wish the log came back. Why? Why would I want that? Which card is it beneficial to hit twice of a log? And back to back, like, if the log has its travel time, so it has to reach its farthest point and then come back, and so it takes time for it to hit the same card twice, and in that time the card most often is dead or will die. Like goblins will just die from the initial hit, and something like Evis, you hit it with a lock, it gets pushed back, and the tower just kills it. Furnace. Fire spirits have 400% plus range. Actually good. You should pick this mod if you have furnace, because the fire spirits just fly across the arena. You can place the furnace behind your king tower, and your opponent immediately has to react, or it's like the fire spirits hit their prince tower from your side. So this is pretty important to react to. Most of the time the furnace produces 2 fire spirits that jump simultaneously if your opponent places anything in the center of their arena side. You can just place, it's like a fireball due to its range. This is a good mod, should pick it. P.E.K.K.A, also like the knight, I don't understand why they didn't nerf it. It has 200% more movement speed. Not as broken as the knight, but still very good. If you get this mod as like one of your first mods, you can just spam P.E.K.K.A on the bridge, and most of the time your opponent doesn't have an adequate answer, and it just walks to the tower, and you win. It's great if you defend with P.E.K.K.A, if your opponent has like a Mega Knight or a Giant. It just, by itself, it turns a defense into an offense. Like in regular Clash Royale, defending a P.E.K.K.A is pretty easy because it's so slow. But since it's very fast here, you have to react very quickly, or else it's at your tower. You should pick this. Expo has 50% more range. If you play Expo only for the epic version, this isn't too bad of a mod. Like, you can place your Expo in front of a king tower and it still hits the opposing princess towers. If your opponent doesn't know you have the mod and just thinks you misplaced the Expo, it will connect to the tower and your opponent has to react to it. And it just makes it a great defensive building. Unfortunately, poison exists, so it could just give your opponent poison value. Other than that, not very. It's useful, but it isn't game breaking at all. Like, it's still an Expo, and again, towers have more HP, so letting an Expo connect to your tower isn't as terrible in this game mode. Which spawns Muscalis are useless. Unless your opponent has like P.E.K.K.A, it doesn't really do anything. Like, it can be worse for you if your opponent has Mother Bitch, and a mod should never be used against you. So this makes it pretty much useless. Like, is it a 6? Like, really worthless? I mean, if you don't have like stab or arrows, which I don't understand why you would not run any of them. Like, you have to run a spell in this mode. There's so many fireballies like Electro Wizard, Wizard, Hunter, Musketeer, X, princess, furnace, like you have to run poison or arrows. Mother witch, double hawks, not good. It's like hawks don't do any damage by themselves already in normal Clash Royale, and here with so much more tower HP, you can just ignore them. They're only there for distraction, like to distract the tower from other big things, but troops, but yeah, no. Inferno Tower, negative 100% charge speed. Inferno Tower it's just so defensive. Like, this is a game mode that is meant to be like chaos, offensive, like huge pushes that don't make any sense. Just picking a defensive building is against like the idea of this mod. The Inferno Tower is just too expensive. And it can be easily distracted. Again, you have more elixir, meaning you can more easily distract. You can just place troops to distract the Inferno Tower. It's not bad, but I would never put Inferno Tower in this, in my deck for this game mode. It doesn't just do anything. Tombstone spawns more skull is useless for the same reason as Witch. It can be actually beneficial for your opponent. Just one more skull doesn't do anything. So even if it's death spawn, it spawns like 8 skelly. Skellies just you don't win this game with skellies. There's no chip damage archetype in this game mode. Golem, you get 4 elixir when it's defeated. Actually good. If you place Golem, by the time they defeat the Golem, you cycle back to another Golem, and if you get +4 elixir, almost immediately you can place another Golem. So you can just cycle Golems at their bridge and make constant death damage. If your deck is particularly cheap, you can absolutely exploit this. My deck isn't that cheap, but I still find myself placing Golem at the bridge, cycling to the next Golem, and placing it within moments of the opponent defeating the first Golem. Poison slows down troops by 150%. Not that versatile. Like, I personally never play poison for its slowing down effect. Like, normal poison slows down troops by like 15%. Never cared about that. Even when they implemented it, I first had to read about it to notice that they gave poison that buff. I think it was coupled with another nerf, but if in its damage or something. Yeah, I just never play poison for its slowing down effect. It helps on offense, so your troops can deal more damage. But other than that, it makes the spell better, but that's not why I play poison in this game mode. There's a different reason. Next one is Graveyard. More skellies, bigger skelly party. If you have poison, it doesn't do anything different. If you have counters to it, like Witch or Tesla, I guess. Again, if you have Mother Witch, it actually plays into your hands, so that makes it bad. Like it's like with Rage, like if your opponent has a counter to it, it doesn't matter if you have the mod or not. But if your opponent doesn't have a counter to it, like it demolishes their tower, regardless of if you have the mod or not. Like Graveyard does immense amount of damage if your opponent doesn't have an adequate answer. Flying Machine plus 100% hit speed. Doesn't make a big difference. If you have Poison or Fireball, just get rid of it. If you don't have them, then it can be actually devastating for you. But even if it connects on your tower, the tower has more HP, therefore you can just ignore it. But it's not that bad. Firecrackers is a new addition. Increased recall. So as usual, Supercell manages to make an annoying card even more annoying. Unfortunately, they brought arrows into this game mode, and poison exists, and give more elixir, so throwing a poison onto a firecracker isn't that bad in this game mode. The opponent can't punish it that hard. It's not annoying if your opponent doesn't have a counter to it. That could make it really annoying for them. Like they might as well just give up. But other than that, yeah. Fisherman, I don't know what this thing is doing in this game mode. Has more hit HP, 100% more HP. You don't play Fisherman for its HP, you play it for its hooking ability. And if it hooks a P.E.K.K.A. onto itself, the plus 100 damage HP doesn't do a lot of difference. Like, why is this one getting only a 100% HP increase, but the knight who has more HP than the fisherman gets a 200%? Like, they both are common mods, and they both are like a semi-tank. Like, why the discrepancy? Don't really get it. Fireball leaves flames after it. Actually makes the spell better, cause you now kills Fireball is like Musketeer, Wizard. I'm not sure if like Witch, it kills Mother Witch by itself, Ice Wizard, E-Wiz. Like, and it deals a bit of chip damage to tower, which doesn't really matter, but it kills Fireball. So it's basically a poison. You know, it does make, if you have Fireball and you're giving this versus like Rocket or something like this, you should choose this, especially if your opponent has Fireball. E-Wiz spawns with 3 E-Spirits. Useless. Those E-Spirits never do anything. And maybe they connect to your opponent's tower, but that just gives them a chance to activate their king tower. Like, I always do that when my opponent places this E-Wiz with this mod. just don't pick it. Especially poison and fireball exist. There aren't a lot of spells in this game mode, like we have rocket, poison and fire. There's not even lightning. No earthquake. Not even a barb barrel. So most people have poison or fireball. Elixir golem most of the time just means free elixir for you. Plus 2 elixir golemites. I don't really know if they give you more elixir. If they do, then it's obviously trash. But even that, like, your tower gets more damage. Or receives more damage. So what? Your tower has more HP. Like, you don't in this game mode, you take towers with big pushes. P.E.K.K.A, golem, a knight that has the HP of a golem. You don't take it with like an elixir golem with more blobs. And considering most people don't even know how to use elixir golem, despite elixir golem being called a extremely low skill card, people don't know how to use it. So yeah, E-Spirit useless. Chip, why would you play cycle cards in this game mode? And why would you pick 3 E-Spirits? Like, I don't know, combined, can they even like kill, what can they kill combined? Can they kill a princess? I'm not even sure if they combined can kill a princess. Like getting them to attack different troops is nearly impossible. So that if they all attack the same troop, like the same troop gets stunned for 0.5 seconds. Over and over and over again. Like this, it doesn't stack, so the troop is just stunned for 0.5 seconds. Yeah. Ice Wizard, why 300% bigger deploy splash. I never understood why they gave Ice Wizard deploy splash. Ice Wizard is one of the most defensive cards in this entire game, and they gave it a deploy splash, which only makes sense if you place it directly on top of troops. But unlike an E-Wizard, which stuns and deals like decent damage, Ice Wizard doesn't deal any damage. So I only know one circumstance in which it makes sense to use the splash damage, like this deploy splash. Placing it on a Skarmy. Well, a Skarmy doesn't exist here, so like, if you count, like, on which cards would it make sense to place it on top of? Like, not melee cards. Like, you want melee cards to walk towards the Ice Wizard while they're super slow. So, like, does it really matter placing it in Wizard to get killed in like 3 shots? And just increasing the deploy splash doesn't even make it better. Like, what's the point? So, making a useless ability bigger just doesn't make it not useless. Anything times 0 is still 0, so I don't understand this ability on like a basis level. Like, why would you give that? Why would you give that ability to him? Why don't you give this splash ability to like a wizard. It like lands with a fireball. Ice Spirit, the same with E-Spirit. Yeah, just having 3 of them doesn't change anything. I will later sort them in their respective grade, tier. Yeah, just why? It's so defensive. It's supposed to play offensive in this game mode. Dark Prince is new. Active 50% charge time. Just like with the Mega Knight, just don't let him charge at all. And since it doesn't change his charge damage, if you just don't let him charge, it's pretty easy. Like even if you have a Knight or a P.E.K.K.A, extra charge, reduced charge time doesn't cut it. Like if to place troops closer to your prince's tower, so if they get defeated, the prince doesn't charge immediately, which I think it does. Like the charge distance is like what, 2 tiles, so it just charges after 1 tile, so like immediately. Just keep him occupied. Baby Dragon plus 200% movement speed. Like Giant seems intimidating, but it's a baby dragon. It's a baby dragon. Doesn't have a lot of HP. It's close to no damage in this game mode. You can completely ignore it. It's baby dragon. Barb, higher respawn speed. Plus 100% spawn rate can be a disadvantage. Like if your opponent has like firecracker or wizard, it just encourages those troops more to stay in your opponent's half of the arena. So a higher spawn speed just gives the troops more value. And it's barbarians. Like barbarians are so easy to counter with like you can use everything here to counter barbarians. Not to mention poison exists. So just give your opponent more poison value. You don't play Barbarian Hut for this reason. Play it for this reason. But we'll get to that. A Berserker plus 200% hit speed. She's just too fragile. Like they nerfed her so often, so many times. She's just too fragile in this game mode. Towers have more HP, you have P.E.K.K.A s running around, Musketeers running around, Wizards, overpowered Knights. She's just too squishy in this game mode to make a difference. There's just much more broken cards. Bandit is new, has 200% dash distance. Very versatile. Like it gives her the ability to like dash all across the arena. Like dash from the left side to the right side to the left side, across the river even. Like this is a new addition, so when I played this C.H.A.O.S season, I didn't know this was an addition. So when I saw the bandit just dash across half the arena, caught me off guard. She's a great addition in this game mode. Elite Barbarians is also new. Yeah, now we get to the rare ones. Elite barbarians. Again, new. Both level up when enemy is defeated. If you have Mega Knight, if you have P.E.K.K.A, like it's obviously better than the common. I'll put them down, but they're like Skarmy where they can kill stuff, and most of them, if you have an adequate counter, they just kill them. Like Mega Knight. Like use counters that they cannot be killed. Like you don't place a wizard to defend E-barbs or executioner or zappies. You use like Mega Knight, P.E.K.K.A, even like rascals or Tombstone. I shouldn't use Tombstone in this case, but yeah, just use P.E.K.K.A or Mega Knight. The new Ronin, because elite barbarians do a lot of damage. Zappies spawns 5 instead of 3. If your opponent doesn't have anything against that, this surely means permastun for any troop, be it a P.E.K.K.A, Knight, Royal Giant, or any other troop, but Fireball and Poison exist, so you have to be really lucky that your opponent doesn't have that. Your opponent can just distract them with like a Knight, so everything, all of them attack the Knight, and then they place like an Executioner or something. Also, more Zappies just doesn't make everything better. If you're skilled, you know how you can perma-stun troops even with 3 Zappies, because all of them stun 0.5 seconds and have I think 1.5 second attack speed. So you can perma-stun troops if you place them a bit back, so they all walk up to the Royal Giant or Giant or something. Instead of placing them on top of a troop, then they all attack at the same time and just stuns the troop once. If you like the card, you should know that. Like in general, Clash Royale. Then Rage just gives it like a super buff. I'm not really sure how much exactly of a buff it gives, but it's just Rage. Like you use it when you're already winning, so now you win not only harder, but you win really hard. Well, that's it. You're already winning, so what's the point of even harder winning? Doesn't do anything. So, not that helpful. Ram Rider has like a hunter ability. Again, Ram Rider isn't that good of a troop in this game mode. Just getting it to connect and just use the card when your opponent doesn't have any counter. You don't say, oh, I'm gonna place this. The opponent has a counter, but thank God the Ram Rider now has this snare thingy. And even if it connects, it doesn't matter. Your tower has more HP. Yeah. You're not going to win this in this game mode by like single card connection, other than like P.E.K.K.A, like getting 1 elite barbarian on your tower, or 1 Expo connection, or 1 giant, or maybe even Mega Knight. You can completely ignore, like even if a wizard connects with full HP to a tower, you can just ignore it. The tower has so much HP. Tesla new modification. Lower stuns and lowers level by 1, making the card attacks basically useless. Like the Tesla has a high attack speed, like 1.1 seconds, so your card is just getting stunned over and over again. Like it only moves for like 0.6 seconds. And that's it. Like there's a reason why like E-Wiz or the Frankenstein have a low attack speed, because otherwise it would just perma-stun it. And that's why Tesla doesn't do stunning, because its attack speed is way too high. But this just stuns the opponent over and over again. And the level reduction you can actually view as it doing more damage, like an Inferno Tower, because like the Tesla's damage is constant, but the HP of the troop it's attacking decreases because its level decreases, meaning each Tesla attack relatively deals more damage, like a bigger chunk of the troop's HP. So relatively Tesla did more and more % of damage to the troop. Like I wonder, like if you have this knight buff, like with double HP or triple HP, if it is like level 1 knight, like how much HP does it have? Like level 1 knight has what, 500 HP, so there's like 1500 HP. Like a level 1 knight with 1500 HP. Obviously it also depends like on the card rarity. Like against commons it's better than like epics or legendaries, since legendaries only have 5 levels, so they can only receive this reduced level by 1 debuff 4 times. They can't have negative levels. I hope not. So it depends on the card. Suspicious Bush spawns 4 instead of 2 bush goblins. Not that helpful, not that much of a game changer. If you've adequate counters like Mega Knight 7 for 2, or just a log or E-Wizard, like you do have to keep in mind 4 of them deal a lot of damage. So one deals like 200 damage per hit, so all of them combined can like kill E-Wizard or Wizard in one swoop. But if you have Knight or P.E.K.K.A, and again they nerfed the Suspicious Bush, so you have more time to react. They don't spawn immediately on your tower, and you have time to play stuff. Executioner has like 4 axes, makes it stronger but not really that strong. It did more damage, but you don't really run execution in this game mode. There are a lot of air units that require this hefty anti-air card. It has no balloons, so not a lot of people run. Lava Hound. Like I've personally never seen a Lava Hound anyone run in this game mode. Ruin Giant gives more buffs. No, it gives 2 Berserkers. Users don't run this card. The Berserkers die. Especially if you play the Rune Giant behind the King Tower, they just run in front of her and die. You can completely ignore a berserker hitting your tower. A Ronin, this one's actually pretty strong. When it has parry mode, like when it enters parry mode, it reflects projectiles. When your opponent has this, you have to really play differently, because like Ronin has two counters, ranged cards because you can't parry him, and swarms. Well, this game mode doesn't have a lot of swarms, like witch maybe, tombstone, a witch. What else counts as swarms? Not anything else. Like rascals aren't really a swarm card. And like the only other answer are ranged cards like furnace, musketeer, firecracker. But if he deflects them, like he's basically immortal. But you can resolve this. You just have to play like a knight, or any melee trooper can constantly waste his parry. Like if you're a witch, which is like a great counter to this mod. Like with witch, he constantly wastes his parry on skeletons, so he doesn't reflect the witch. Witch's attack, yeah. You just have to make sure he wastes his parries on stupid stuff. But if you don't know how to do that, this is very good. Is it superb? Like, I wouldn't say so, but it's great. Arrows fires like fireballs. Actually, if you pay close attention to its impact frame, like when it hits the ground, and you look at the radii, or like the circles, to show its hitbox, you can actually see a big hitbox and then multiple like small hitboxes for the impact where it deals damage. Deals more damage. I'm not really sure how much damage it gives, like mini fireballs. I don't think, if I remember correctly, it doesn't kill like fireballies. So it has a bigger radius, but if it doesn't kill fireballs, like just take fireball. A rocket. The goblin party rocket, meaning that has a big radius and everything gets turned into goblins. Haven't seen a single person use rocket in this game mode. Even in the goblin party mode where this card comes from, you can just work around it. Just do double lane pushes, like force the player to rocket one side and then go all in the other side. Not to mention, he just threw out 6 elixir. This princess has 55% more range. Actually, arrows, poison, fireball. Not that much of a game changer. Why didn't they give her infinite range? That would have made her like Barret. You would be forced to activate King Tower if your opponent is smart and plays it behind their King Tower. But as it is, like Princess is a card that you want to be gone from the arena ASAP, regardless of if she has a mod or not. Expo, really weird. It has like arrows that pierce through target. If I remember correctly, from the first time like this C.H.A.O.S mod came out, it was really weird because you had to play the expo right at the bridge for it to attack the Princess Tower. Because the magic archer shot that's used for this expo has a shorter range than the expo is a 11.5 tile range, but the arrows of the magic archer only go for 11 tiles. So you couldn't place it like one tile in front of the behind the bridge. And other than that, like, why would you want that? Why would you want piercing projectiles? For like, your pawn just plays something in the middle. How does it having piercing ability change anything? On top of it, it has a shorter lifespan, so if your pawn has more than 3 brain cells, they just don't let it. A knight stuns troops. Actually threatening. You can't let it connect to your Princess Tower because the Princess Tower will be stunned indefinitely. It's great against like P.E.K.K.A, Bandit, Golem. It's just perma-stun stun. Elite Barbarians. It's just, you can counter it by, again, like Ronin, getting it to attack troops it shouldn't. Like, you can place distraction so it just wastes its stun ability. It would be broken if it was a zap spell, like a splash. It would hit everything in front of it, like a Dark Prince or something. But as it is, it's just good. Yeah, it's a good mod, you should pick it. A rascals, it spawns a giant instead of like the rascal boy. Perf. Sure, you get like 5 elixir giant and like 3 rascals, but rascals are too fragile and the giant is just not threatening since your Princess Tower has a lot of more HP. Like overall, like when regarding all the cards, you have to keep in mind that princesses have more HP. So the troops have to scale up to that. Like their abilities, their mods have to compensate for that more HP. Like if the Princess House have like 2 times HP and all troops just did 2 times more damage, then that would be compensation, but as there's like a normal giant just does normal giant damage. A regular giant. So not much of a game changer. Also you plays rascals like defensively and the giant just doesn't do anything and just walks away. Giant dashes to your tower. Actually dangerous if you let him keep dashing. He deals a lot of damage. If you have a P.E.K.K.A, it's not that bad, or if you have a building, it's not that bad, but you have to watch out if your opponent has this mod. Not like game breaking, but above average. Triple P.E.K.K.A, like it gives you 3 mini P.E.K.K.As which aren't mini P.E.K.K.A.s. Like, it's just normal P.E.K.K.A cutified. Like, they're really cute. It depends on the matchup. If your opponent has a golem, P.E.K.K.A themselves, giant, then this is just more DPS. If you need more DPS, then this is a great mod. If your opponent doesn't have a lot of DPS, like run like Graveyard, Zappies, Princess, like lock bait stuff, you shouldn't choose. Like, this is matchup dependent. But nevertheless, if it's so on average, it's not that great. But if you have an opponent which has a lot of heavy troops, it can be pretty good. A Night Witch spawns evil bats, absolutely useless. Even more useless than a 6 death bat, because they at least can deal damage. But evil bats, seriously, in a game mode where we have Executioner, Princess, Musketeer, Wizard, Hunter. If you just, it doesn't change anything. It doesn't make the card that much better. Like, at all. Then with, for me, the best, one of the best mods. It's just fun to play with that mod. It gives you like insane range, like expo range. You can just place her in the back behind your King Tower, and she almost immediately starts shooting things across the arena. And you can just stack her behind King Towers or your Princess Towers. If your opponent doesn't have poison, they're in deep trouble. And you can use it as win condition. Like, since she does way more damage than Expo, she's a great win condition. Like, you can't just ignore her. Even though Princess Towers have more HP, you can't ignore her. So yeah, it's just fun to have this mod. Most of the time you win the games, and it's just fun to see her snipe things across the arena. Water barbarians, it's just for the meme. It doesn't make the model better. Just don't let it connect to the tower. Just make sure to not let it connect to the tower. Just for the meme, for the barbarian launcher in this one game mode we had once. But it's not really that powerful. Furnace, again, they did not nerf this. Why? Yeah, I would actually put this in a superb, because like, it spawns all spirits, meaning Ice Spirit, Electro Spirit, and Heal Spirit. What makes it so OP is the rate at which it spawns. It spawns in like every second or so. So if the spirits hit all the same target, it's almost perma-stunned. And if you have a melee card in front of your furnace, it constantly gets healed. So if you protect this card, it gets so much value. It heals, it freezes, it zaps. Like, this is one of the best support cards, even better than the Musketeer. Like, Giant this furnace mod is better than Giant with Musketeer. Musketeer is like an assistant way back. It just hits everything. Like, it's insane. You can place a Musketeer on your side and it's just hitting everything. It's a super support card that just is constant damage. And Furnace is just a great backing card. You can place it behind the King Tower and it just starts spawning spirits left and right and your opponent has to answer. One of the best supporting cards. Like, every push benefits from having this Furnace modification behind it. Mega Knight has infinite jumps. Depends if you have P.E.K.K.A. or not. If you have P.E.K.K.A. then it doesn't do anything if you have Knight. But if you only have like Bandit or Wizard, it can be pretty intimidating. If you just distract. If you have buildings like Tesla, it doesn't, like, they don't get knocked back. Like in Evo Mega Knight, you have to just distract with a lot of units. Wizard shoots fireballs. Good. Fireballs do a lot of damage. Big splash, knockback. Again, if you have poison, it's not that threatening. But if you don't have poison cycle, or don't have poison at all, not fireball, can be pretty powerful. Speaking of poison, 1+ tier. Absolutely superb. Like, not only does it, like, it increases the radius per tick, and on top of that, it increases the damage up to, I don't know the exact value, but on the latest ticks, it like one-shots princes or like goblins or something like that. The damage is insane. Like, it kills, I don't know if it kills executioner, but musketeers, like fireballs, even witches, and just because due to its big radius, it keeps so much value. If your opponent has building, any building, and troops, like, it's so much AoE, and you can just cycle it. Like, no matter what push the opponent's trying to build up, you can just slap poison on it and it just deals so much damage. As you might have noticed, most cards, if I rank them, I say, well, you have poison. Yeah, this is why, like, poison is the best. In my opinion, it's my favorite spell in the game, like, in general. I always use it in my decks. But, in this game mode, it's absolutely overpowered. Like, this modifier specifically, way better than the common one, and spoiler, way better than its epic version. But yeah, I always, like, don't answer why you would not. Like, it's just such a great, good to have. Elixir Golem, get Elixir when defeated. So you pay Elixir, and when it dies, you get Elixir back, and your opponent gets Elixir back. Confusing, it's not a good card. It's for noobs. Just don't. Lovehound spawns 6 fire spirits when dead. Doesn't change a whole lot. Like, your opponent will play like a musketeer, furnace against it, or a Tesla, and all what this does is kill the counter. But that's bad because by the time your Lovehound is dead, Again, Lava Hound is a weird card to be in this game mode because there's no balloon. Like, there's only Baby Dragon. Like, I don't understand why they included Lava Hound if there's only like one other air card in this deck. Like, do they want us to play Lava Hound with Night Witch? What? But they put so many air counts like Hunter, Witch, Mother Witch, Inferno Tower, E-Wiz, like so many hard counters to air, Musketeer, Furnace, and they then include Lava Hound with no balloon. Like, what's the point of playing Lava? There isn't even a miner to play Lava Hound Cycle deck. So pretty weird. Goblin Barrel throws 2 Goblin Barrels. Doesn't change a lot. If you have an answer, you just delay your log, you delay your arrows. And even if all of them hit, the tower has more HP, so it's not that terrible. You can just place anything. The weird thing is like the barrels get placed on top of each other, meaning the second pair or triple of goblins gets like pushed really far away from the tower, like due to the first goblins. So if you place anything like a knight or a wizard, they just get taken out pretty easily. They're not dead. It would be better if they were in a triangle shape flipped, so all 6 goblins were in like a hexagonal shape and all attacked at the same time, but right as it is now, it's just a row of 2 goblins 3 times. So log useless. It gives it like an infinite range. I've never ever seen this give me any value. Sometimes it can even backfire, because if you place the log in the middle of your side, it will always activate the king tower. Why? Why can't you just increase its width or give it more damage or make it faster or something? But why would you increase its range? Like, there's a reason why the log's range is not longer, so it doesn't activate the king tower and it plays it from your side on. I never picked that. You will later see you should include log in your deck because of this one here. Like, log is really weird in this game. Like, it has 2 completely useless mods and then one of the most overpowered one. We get to that later. Witch spawns guards, useless. If you have poison, it doesn't matter. If you have splash cards, it doesn't matter. If you have executioner, wizard, E-Wiz, Mega Knight, Firecracker, it just gives it even more value. Just no. Like, the witch with its skeletons, it's good against P.E.K.K.A, and that just makes it better against P.E.K.K.A. But if you have more than 4 branches, you would never place a P.E.K.K.A into a witch at the first place. Yeah, Hunter. What does the Hunter do? Invisible when I'm attacking, no. Just no. Like, it could cause the troop to just waddle to the tower and completely ignore the hunter. Also, this doesn't make any sense. you want melee cards to walk into the hunter so it gets hit by more bullets. But if it just walks past the hunter, it just doesn't get hit that often. This doesn't make any sense. You can surround the hunter, you can just normally defend it and the hunter will attack it. I guess the Princess Tower won't attack it right from the bridge, but no. Mother Witch, Hawk's Curse on defeat. Hawks are undead. They deal no damage. Relatively, they deal no damage. So them cursing doesn't do it. And again, this mod doesn't, this game mod doesn't feature a lot of swarms, like Witch, Graveyard, Tombstone. Maybe you can count Bush, Goblins, but other than that, it's just, there's no Skarmy, there's no Goblin Gang, there's no Bats, there's no Skellies. I mean, Night Witch has bats, but like the normal bat card. There are no guards. It's just not very worth to have in this game mode. Electrovisual, Electro Spirit. Zaps all units. Again. Why use cycle cards? I mean, if you have a cycle deck to get to your knight more often, yeah, but then you're not gonna pick this, so. Your opponent just has to not let it chain, and that's it. That doesn't deal a lot of damage. Fisherman just feels so out of place in this mod. On this game mode. Hook air troops. What? I don't think I have to explain why this is one of the dumbest mods in this entire game mode. There's only lava and baby train. What? Who thought about this? Like, first of all, having a fisherman in this game and then saying, yeah, it hooks air troops. And then only put like 2 air troops in entire. Also, it really makes it terrible against like Night Witch. Like, it was just constantly try to hook bats, and not the Night Witch itself. Why? What? Infantor shoots, if I remember correctly, 3. Yeah, 3 targets. Again, expensive. Zap exists, Evis exists, it can be distracted, even if it has 3 targets. It's just boring. I don't understand why they put defensive buildings in this game when it's all about crazy attacks, offensive nonsense, and they put the most defensive buildings in this game, like Tesla, Inferno Tower, Ice Wizard. Why would you put Ice Wizard? One of the most defensive cards. And it is obviously made for offensive gameplay. Period here. Yeah, just why? Fireball, Tornado Fireball, actually good. It doesn't say it in its description, but it shoots like 3 or 4 fireballs, so it just kills even executioners, I guess. Definitely witches. Where's that witch it killed? Or baby dragon. And tornado is just, I get like 3 fireballs for 1. This can actually be, I would even say, very good. Great, even. Not game breaking, I would still rather pick poison just for its bigger radius and high damage. Yeah. You can pick either of them. You can even put both on your deck if you really want to. Just make to make sure that you don't have any problems. Again, even if it's just a princess or whatever, a goblin barrel elixir is faster in this game mode, elixir production, so even making one -1 elixir trade isn't bad. It doesn't break your bones. Tombstone spawns wall breakers. Wall breakers have more HP, meaning if your opponent places a troop to defend it, it just stalls it more. When the tombstone pops, it spawns like 6 wall breakers. You have to mind that. But if you have adequate counters, it's not much of a threat. You just have to address it every time. You can't let, even if one pair connects, you've failed. I wouldn't say it's like in the 3 tier. Like 3 is satisfactory, 2 is good, 1 is very good, 4 is acceptable, 5 is not good, and 6 is just completely not enough. Faulty, 5 is faulty, and 1+ is superb, and 6- is absolutely, if your teacher has a bad day, it will give you a 6-. Well, firecracker, actually decent. I had one game against someone who used firecracker with this modification, and somehow it utterly demolished my princess tower. Like, people who use firecracker, like, they make a push and then place firecracker on the bridge so it splashes to your princess tower. And for some reason, every time the firecracker shot and those secondary shots turned into tertiary shots, the tertiary barrage did like 1,000 damage to my tower every time. So just demolished my tower, completely annihilated them. Like, my tower had like 100 HP after that push, and I was like, what? Where did my tower go? So you really have to watch out with that. Like, those tertiary shots can deal a lot of damage if unchecked. Graveyard spawns guards. Is it really better than having more skeletons? Like, again, if your opponent has good counts, it doesn't matter. It just does not matter. Even if it's more damage, your Princess Tower has more HP. So why would you even deal with that? He was chains up to 5 or 4 targets, 5 targets. Can be pretty good as a support card. If your opponent completely fumbles it, it just gives it infinite value. If they know how to address it, then yeah, then it's not that game changing. Like if it just plays a knight into it, or just a wizard, like 1v1 is the same, so the opponent has to have less than 5 brain cells to make this thing work. A Royal Giant has more range. 200% more range. Looks funny. Is it that game changing? If your opponent has P.E.K.K.A, it's not that strong, or elite barbarians. And again, it just deals relative to the tower's HP, it just doesn't deal a lot of damage with a bigger range. It's not a chip game. Really kind of fun with it. Golem splits into 2 golems. Absolutely waste here. Like it's 3 golems in one, and the death damage is just immense. Like the opponent will never be able, even if they have P.E.K.K.A, even if it's triple P.E.K.K.A, like even if they have this triple P.E.K.K.A mod, the golem, almost all 3 golems will explode on their Prince Tower, and it just wrecks the Prince Tower by itself. Like you can't place anything behind it, but the opponent will be occupied just killing the golem, so there's no point. Zap makes chains. Lightning also strikes highest HP troop. Remembering that 1 lightning is worth 2 elixir, it's just 4 for 2. Like you can use it on like a wizard or executioner. Like you can use it as like a fireball substitute, but most likely you have fireball or poison in your deck anyway, so it's strong but not that game changing. Flying machine spawns goblins. Why? Like who came up with that idea? Like why would you want your air card to spawn ground cards? Doesn't make any, like why? You should never pick that. Doesn't make a single difference. Ice Spirit, 5-second freeze, way too defensive, isn't funny, doesn't encourage aggressive gameplay, should be taken out of the game mode. Like it's helpful, but it just shouldn't be in the game mode at all. Ice Wizard, I don't think I have to read. Permanent slowdown. Just don't, like if you play Ice Wizard in this game mode, you shouldn't play this game mode. Like you're just boring the opponent. If you have broken cards like these, well, why would you play Ice Wizard? Dark Prince. Shield sets after enemy defeat. If your opponent has P.E.K.K.A, Mega Knight, like he doesn't deal a lot of damage and not a lot of like small units. Like you don't place like a wizard against the Dark Prince or a musketeer against the Dark Prince. Like getting your troops killed by a Dark Prince is really bad. Like what were you thinking? Dark Prince doesn't deal a lot of damage. Like this would make sense for a card that deals a lot of damage. Like if P.E.K.K.A got the shield every time she killed someone, but just Dark Prince. Also, the shield doesn't have a lot of HP, like 200 or something, so almost is knocked off with one hit from almost everything. Baby Dragon shoots fireballs. Great. Deals a lot of damage. Back, pushes things back, knock back, and just yeah, it's really threatening. You can't place like musketeer against it. You can't let it connect to your tower because it deals immense damage. Like all those counters like E-Wiz, Wizard, and Executioner, they just get annihilated by that. And like Baby Dragon attacks fast. Relatively. So having a fireball every like 1 point something seconds. Berserker dashes. Nah. Not very useful. She doesn't deal a lot of damage by herself. You can ignore her. You can just let her go onto your tower. Doesn't change anything. Barbarian Heart, the sole reason, oh not the sole, you have the epic version, spawns elite barbarians. If I remember correctly, the original version spawned 2 elite barbarians, now they changed it to 1. Still threatening, the opponent has to address it. Barbarian Heart has a lot of HP. And on death it spawns like 3 elite barbarians. So most opponents are completely overwhelmed by 3 elite barbarians. Again, there are not a lot of swarm cards. And you can just push, like you can place the barbarian heart or elite barbarian heart on the left and push on the right, and your opponent can't defend both. Just constant pressure on one side. Bandit, new one. Chain dash on final hit. I haven't actually seen what this does. Bandit is a good card. Great addition in this game mode. If it dashes more often, that's good. A dash is what makes her special. But I don't really know how much game changing it is. There are way more broken cards, so just put it here. So 3 and 4 get equal amount of troops. Elite barbarians. They split on defeat. I haven't seen it, but this sounds extremely overpowered. Like it splits 2 times, so it goes from 2 to 4 to 8. So does that mean it has like 8 elite barbarians? If you know it, you can write that in the comments, but if that is true, it sounds absolutely broken. Also, if you want to see me make a modifier tier list for the next season, this is currently season 1, you might watch it when it's already season 2. Just let me know in the comments. Also, the subscription would help me to make another list. Continuing with the epics, like with Elite Barbarians, it's absolutely broken. The Zappies spawn mini Sparkies. If you have poison, it's not very threatening, or fireball, but if not, those deal like Sparky damage. Sparkies are really cute, and you have to really watch out if they hit something. And other than that, it's really important that you don't let them hit your troops. Now we come to the legend, the myth. Epic Expo shoots Sparky shots. If I remember, like I've played it once, it felt like it deals less damage to crown towers. Like on other troops it deals like Sparky damage, which just demolishes them all. To on towers it felt like deals less damage, but still, if you get this mod, it's almost always a win. So if you get this mod, you just always pick it. Always. It doesn't matter what the game gives you as a different choice. You just pick this and you win the game. Like if you've seen this once, I don't think I need any further explanation. A rage, permanent rage if I remember correctly. Yeah, infinite range of... it doesn't change it. Like it's still rage. If you kill the card, nothing happens. Yeah. Ram Rider. Gives the Battle Ram Hunter net abilities. Again, it's not that great of a card. I haven't played against it once, so I don't really know how strong it is, but it doesn't just sound like, even if you just let it connect to your tower, it just deals a bit the amount of damage and that's it. Tesla spawns Dr. Goblinstein on defeat. Why would you want that? Dr. Goblinstein isn't good. Like no one ever uses this card. And having that card, like his ability kills swarms, but again there are no swarms in here, so, and if you have P.E.K.K.A, it's just cannon food for the P.E.K.K.A. Or if you have a building. Suspicious push, what? Might be one of the most broken modifiers. Like it spawns 4 goblin brawlers. You can't do anything against it. This costs 2 elixir, just logging it already costs 2 elixir, and then you have 4 goblin brawlers. Like, how much is each goblin brawler worth? Like 2 or 3 elixir? 10 elixir on your princess tower. Like there's absolutely nothing to do. Like you have to spend so much elixir to defend that. Even if you do defend it, like opponent can just spam on the other side and you lose. Like if your opponent has this modifier and that have more than 5 brain cells, you lost. Like, no, I don't understand why they did not nerf that. So it feels only they nerfed the evils. I pick one. Executioner gets like a tornado effect. Executioner isn't that great of a card in this mode. The tornado is a welcomed addition. Like, does help, but by the time you get this, like, here's the thing about, like, by the time you get this, there's a chance your opponent has like broken elite barbarians, suspicious bush that spawns 4 goblin bros, sparky shot shooting expo, mini sparkies, and then just getting executioner which does a tornado effect. It just doesn't compete. It just doesn't. If you think about, if you want to put an execution in the deck, are you really waiting to get this modification? A bit of tornado action and that's it. Doesn't even deal more damage. So what's the point? I don't understand that. Rune Giant, again, bad card. Gives a buff to everyone. Okay. Like, there's no Lumberjack in this game mode. There's no Dart Goblin. Maybe Expo. Like, what other fast attacking units? Spear Goblin's not really, it doesn't, like, again, by the time you get that, your opponent could have elite barbarians that spawn more elite barbarians. Or Sparkies. Or golem that splits up to, like, no. Ronin, Ronin. Parry enrages allies for 5 seconds. Doesn't change a lot. Like his rare one is way better than that. Like, it eliminates all, like, there's so many ranged cards in this game mode that reflecting ranged projectiles is so overpowered. But just raging your own troops, most of the time only one Ronin he already costs 5 elixir, and he deals so much damage and is tanky that you expect him to deal with problems by himself. He's not like in a goblin gang or something. Or like an ice with maybe plays other units to help him. But again, he's a cool card, so that maybe gives him bonus points. Rascals, this is actually extremely strong, not even overpowered. It spawns, instead of the rascal boy, it spawns boss bandit, and instead of the rascal guns, it spawns marchers. Combined, this gives you 14 elixir for 5. Like, there's, depending on how you value like the goblin brawlers, maybe if you value them for like 3 elixir or 2 elixir, but like, this gives you amazing value, like almost 3 for 1. Like, goblin barrel, this mod, it gives you 2 goblin barrels, gives you 2 for 1. And this one gives you just more, or the rare version. Gives you 2 times value, and here gives you a giant, but this is one of the best spells, like boss bandit and 2 magic archers for only 5 elixir. Like a boss bandit by itself has more value and can absolutely demolish you. If you don't have anything against the boss bandit, you have no chance. Other than that, yeah, just if you have no answer, you're screwed. P.E.K.K.A, who acts, who can just burrow, who can just appear everywhere he wants to, also broken. You can't just catch him with like a knight or something, like he just kills the knight. And there have been many battles where like nothing really happens, and then I get this mod and I win the game in the next 10 seconds because I just place the P.E.K.K.A right onto their prince tower and I win. So really devastating for them. Most people for some reason don't know how to counter it. I don't think they even expect that. Epic Night Witch. Like, I don't understand how they could butcher this card so bad. It spawns bats everywhere, which sounds great until you realize that all it does is just stalls the opponent's troops and makes them stackable. Especially if I have the almost infinite range musketeer, I can just stack musketeers behind my king tower. And they won't move a single step because bats just appear everywhere and there's always a bat in their range. You can just stack troops. Again, a single bat just doesn't do anything in this game. Your towers have extreme amount of HP. Yeah, it's like at least the death spawn behind like a tank can do anything, but just spawning bats at random, no. It just keeps the opponent's troops busy so they can't get to your side and you have to address them on their side. Arrows, new edition, spawns Archer Queen. Can be devastating if you just place it on top of the Princess Tower. You just have to watch out as the opponent to know that they have this ability and you can react to it. Just make sure you have like counter like P.E.K.K.A or Knight. I don't know if it's like deserves a 1. Yeah, I guess so. Epic Lava Hound spawns pups. Again, it's better than here because like now you can just place it and it's its own support. Since there's like no balloon, no skelly drags, no E-drag. But other than that, if your opponent has splash cards like Executioner, Wizard, Musketeer, or arrows or poison, it doesn't make a difference. The fun thing is, I've always thought about this being real one day, that Lava Hound as an evolution would spawn pups. And now it's real. Great. But in this game, like in normal, this would be a great evolution. But in this game mode, where Musketeer is like one of the most broken, or Baby Dragon with fireball attacks, not really. Epic Fireball. It splits on impact, deals more damage. I've encountered people missing troops with this. How? It's just at risk of activating opponent's king tower. And like more damage on the same spot is better than not still good. Mega Knight, this is new. Instead of having infinite jump range, he now knocks off troops into the air that never come back. Sounds really OP, but if you know how in general to defend like a normal Mega Knight, just give him useless troops to knock off, like Knight. Or if you have a building, like if you have a building like this is completely useless. Inferno Tower or Tesla, it's completely useless. So you just place one of them. You just have to make sure he doesn't let the crown tower spare him out and he just doesn't attack anything important. Like skeletons, something like that. Goblin, again, something goblin related is obviously broken. Spawns goblin brawlers is almost always your Prince Tower is gone. There's no way to counter it. Even if you throw a fireball on them, like they deal so much damage. Most of the time, the only thing you can do is pressure the other side and hope that you take that tower, which isn't really worth doing because it just costs 3 elixir. So most of the time, your opponent has enough elixir to deal with that. Zap is like chain zap. Again, I don't know how good this is. There are not a lot of like what is a chain raider? So there are not a lot of multiple unit troops in here. Which actually most useless. Spawns evil skeletons. What? Just why? It doesn't change anything. Nothing. No matter what counter you have to which, this doesn't change anything. You can still counter it. And just like it sounds cool like evil skellies, but if you have poison, if you have any card that you splash, wizard, executioner, it doesn't change anything. Like this is one of the worst. I'll see later if it's worse than Hunter. Flamethrower attack. Not that great. Hunter is a very niche card, and like again, your opponent could have this brawlers, 3 brawlers, 4 brawlers, a packer that could spawn area, a bandit with magic altars, Sparky shooting Expo, and you just have a slightly better hunter. It just doesn't compete. And so always think about in relation to other epics, like your opponent can have one of those, and is it really worth to get this? Golem, also game breaking. Golem in this game mode is really great option. You should run Golem because all of the Golem modifiers This one, this one, this one. They're just great to have. This one reflects projectiles. So if opponent has musketeer, spark, it's the only viable counter against this. If you get this sparky shooting expo, the only way for your opponent to not lose is either if they have a rocket or if they have this golem buff. But other than that, they have no chance. This also reflects the Princess Tower, and Executioner. Like, they need to have P.E.K.K.A. If not, then they're screwed. It was really good. Giant Barbarian Barrel, really bad. It's just a normal Barbarian Barrel that spawns a regular Giant, which is completely counterintuitive to a tank. Like, most of the time you want to place your tank behind your King Tower so you can make a big push, but with that you can't even do that. It's just a Barbarian Barrel. The Giant spawns closer to the Princess Tower, but it's just a regular Giant. Fisherman, again trash. Has infinite hook range, meaning it just stands at the same place. You can abuse it. You can place a P.E.K.K.A. and the P.E.K.K.A. gets pulled by him, and if you have the common P.E.K.K.A. version, you just run to the tower and you win. It makes him an easy target for fireball, poison, since he can't move. I don't even think he can survive the rare modification of a poison. Yeah, just don't use him. Ice Wizard freezes troops permanently. Poison exists, fireball exists. It's boring. It goes completely against the mode's intention. Supercell has mentioned multiple times that they prioritize offense over defense, and yet they bring cards like one of the most defensive cards, give it the most defensive ability, and put it in this offensive chaos mod. Like, he literally embodies the diametrical opposition to chaos, because it just makes things stand still. Epic Poison makes permanent poison, so the same area gets just poisoned over time. Good, not as game breaking as the rare variant, because poison damage stays the same, and people can just not place their troops in the poison area. You have to constantly adjust the poison, and it just doesn't deal that much damage. It just says to the opponent, you can place troops here indefinitely, and a lot of people know how to work around that. You should never give up the rare variant for this epic one. Like, in general, I don't understand how you manage to make make rare versions better than epics. Like, I would expect here to always be epic and here to be always be common, but if like 1, 2, and 3 epic variants, and here we have a common 1, 2, 3, and 3 rares. Why? How can you mess this up this badly? A Dark Prince. Charge Summon Swarm of Bats. Bats doesn't do a lot again, if your opponent has a mother witch, this can be bad for you. Wizard spawns a wizard trio, useless. Just gives the opponent more poison value, and they're all it's just a regular wizard, regular e-wizard, and regular ice wizard. Gives you 12 for 5, but so it's by the standard it's worse than this rascal modifier, and they're just regular wizards. So don't pick it. She gets healed when she attacks. Useless, doesn't change anything. She doesn't have a lot of health, so what's the point of healing her? She's not like a battle healer with, and she has less health than a battle healer, so what's the point? What's the point? What's the point that Ice Spirit gives produces Ice Golem hero effect, like it just slows down troops 2 times and it freezes them. It's not better than like outright freezing it. Like this freezes the troop for 5 seconds, and this freezes them only after 2 times, so this makes it even worse. It's a bigger radius, so it deals more damage in a bigger radius. Baby dragon spawns evil baby dragons. No. By this point you can have 2 magic archers. Sparky doesn't compete. Doesn't really hold up. Like even if it gives it like Evo, if you have a Evo Inferno Dragon, Evo Electro Dragons, if you have a Musketeer, which you should have because this modification is overpowered, or any of there are a lot of air targeting troops, doesn't make a difference. Rocket, just many rockets. Do you really need that many rockets? Like rocket already kills like all those units, Musketeer, Baby Dragon. Like, what's the point of having even more rockets? To deal more damage to crown towers, to obliterate any push. It just makes it boring. Defensive rocket. I did put the other rocket. I guess it's better than that. But, Bandit clones herself when she dashes towards the target. Pretty good. Clones most of the time die immediately, but the combined damage is just helpful. Epic Barbarian Heart spawns cute Mega Knights. You can place it directly in front of the bridge to create a lot of pressure. The opponents have to every 5 or 6, 7 seconds 7 elixir spawn, so I'm not really sure, just like with the rare P.E.K.K.A thing, if the Mega Knights, the small Mega Knights have changed stats, but they're still Mega Knights and absolutely terrifying for the opponent. Like again, you can place the Barbarian Hut on the left side and push in on the right side. Spirit spawns lightnings, so this can actually deal damage. So like it can kill wizards, musketeer for only 1 elixir, and if the opponent has less than 6 brain cells, can hit even the tower or chain multiple targets. Like the E Spirit can chain up to 9 targets, so you can get 9 lightnings. This is worth 18 elixir. 3 times 6, 18 elixir for 1 elixir. So objectively, this is the best worth. You get 18 elixir for 1. If it chains 9 times. Yeah, just getting it to hit the troops you want is a bit difficult. Flying Machine gives you an Inferno type beam, Fireball, Poison. I think I'm repeating myself at this point. Just no. Don't use troops that are this fragile. Mega Knight instead of Knight is a bit boring. You just get a regular Mega Knight. Obviously it's huge value. We get 7 for 3. Not as valuable as this. We get 14 for 5. But it's not bad. Like objectively Mega Knight is better than a Knight in most situations. But it's not that game breaking, I would say. Like, is it better than Mega Knight eating card? You still have to pay for a Mega Knight. Yeah. Then, as mentioned before, Log is a really weird card, like in this game, because the common and rare mods absolutely suck, but the epic one is completely overpowered. It spawns a lumberjack at the end of its trajectory, so you can just log the princess tower with like no support, and if the opponent doesn't immediately react, you just have a lumberjack at the tower and it chops the tower. Like I've lost games because I didn't realize, like I was defending on the right side and my opponent just played a log on the left side. I didn't even notice it. And it lost my left tower. Like it defended and suddenly my left tower was gone, had like only 1000 HP. Like it's the same with the epic P.E.K.K.A.s version where you can place a P.E.K.K.A everywhere. There have been games where there was no clear winner and then my opponent or I got this modifier and I won immediately, or my opponent respectively who got this modifier won immediately. It's hard to react to it in time. This is one of the best, combined with Lock being a good spell. Epic Furnace doesn't move. It sounds epic at first, but it's really not. It's standing still just means that people can poison, even if you place it behind your king tower, and again, your opponent could have one of those modifiers, and just having a furnace that just stands around but has like no different It's just a regular furnace. This doesn't cut it. Like, what would you choose? A P.E.K.K.A that you can play everywhere, or just a furnace that just is a furnace? And like, this ability only makes sense if you can like start stacking furnaces, but by the time you reach it, either the game is almost over, or even if it's heading in overtime, it's really hard to get them stacked in. Because the opponent can just spam so many troops, and just having a bunch of fire spirits doesn't cut it. But at first, when I heard about this, I thought this was the most broken thing ever, but it's not. You should stay with the rare one. I pick Elixir Golem. Elixir Golem is a low skill card, so don't bother with it. And your opponent just, like, they regrow, the blobs regrow. Interestingly enough, this was the concept when Elixir Golem was first thought about, like that these blobs evolve. Also in Clash of Clans, if you play that, like the concept was that the blobs evolve when you leave them and they become like normal Elixir Golems. Oh yeah, that would be so overpowered. In this game mode, there's so much splash, there's poison. Yeah, just Tombstone spawns guards and Skelly King doesn't make a difference. So much poison, so much splash. Guard, the same with the witch. If it's guards or not, doesn't matter. Like, I would say the... Where did I put it? The rare version. Yeah, like, spawning wall breakers is way better, because like your opponent has to actually react to wall breakers. Guards, who cares about guards? And Skeleton King doesn't do a lot of difference. Again, there's not a lot of swarms in here for the Skeleton King to charge. Epic Musketeer spawns 2 like elite musketeers. Depending on how much you value like an elite musketeer over a regular musketeer, it's just 2 for 1. And the elite musketeers are just musketeers. There's nothing special about them. So most of the time they're just regular musketeers that don't change anything. Like I say, poison is a real big factor, and at the same time I have this musketeer at 1+. But you can just place the musketeer at the bridge and she starts shooting the tower, and you can place the musketeer on the other side where just throwing a poison on it would get little value. But those are just regular musketeers that you have to place in the middle of the arena, which would give your opponent more worth, value. Evo, not Evo, like Mother Witch. The cursed troops turn into Mother Witches. Mother Witches don't do a lot of damage. Pigs don't do a lot of damage. Just don't bother with this card. Royal Giant, the same, spawns Royal Pigs. Or like Royal Hawks, they're called. And they don't deal a lot of damage. Like, I would rather have the Royal Giant with more range. Mortar is invisible, useless. People distracted with P.E.K.K.A. and Mega Knight and Golem. If they have Golem, this card is entirely useless. So just don't bother with Mortar. Mortar is also like more boring defensive card, and this is supposed to be like an offensive game mode. Graveyard, heavily luck dependent, spawns random troops. And even if you get like, if you're lucky to get like a giant skelly, like enough giant skellies impact damage to be like only 700 or something. Why? It makes no sense. And even then, like it's just 10% of the tower's HP, so it's heavily luck dependent. Ironic for Graveyard, which got multiple changes to make it less random. So it's just, it can be really funny when you get like balloons and guards and Skelly King and Baby Dragon, but you can, most of the time you should just slap a poison on top of it and have like a musketeer. Like if this giant Skelly appears, like there's nothing you can do. If a balloon appears, you can use a musketeer to snipe it down. I wonder if a bomb tower can appear. That would be interesting if just a bomb tower appears right like inside your princess tower. Epic Princess shoots arrows, like an arrow attack. Not that great. Again, Princess is a card that most of the time shoots once and then dies because it gets arrowed or locked or whatever. But with the common one having a higher hit speed, it gives her a chance to shoot multiple times, 2-3 times depending on how slow the opponent is. But she will just get one hit and that's it. Here. Inferno Tower, again, always at max damage, but defensive card, not very fun. It's just boring. Like on principle, you shouldn't run like defensive buildings. I'm not very happy that they included Tesla. Like more defensive card. This more like, in my opinion, this mode should only have offensive cards. Like there shouldn't be an Ice Wizard, there shouldn't be Tombstone, or like only Tombstone that spawns like wall breakers, or Tombstone that spawns balloons. It shouldn't be like defensive cards. Ice Wizard, Fisherman, Zappies. Like this just makes it boring. And Inferno Tower and Tesla, like I hope they don't bring in Bomb Tower or something like that. Second to last one, C.H.A.O.S. So this is one I quite vividly remember. This was back in the day, was the most broken. Like it chained infinitely many times. So if you place this and attack anything, you immediately won. Yeah, this was super broken. Now it just spawns lightning, but it's still really good. Like when it shoots, it's spawns lightning. Like so it eliminates. It even demolishes like P.E.K.K.A.s or golems because the lightning deals a lot of damage. And last one, Firecracker clones herself. Not that good. Clones die. If you have poison and your opponent uses this, doesn't make any sense because the clones immediately die. If you don't have anything against that they can be pretty annoying, but they're clones. And that's it. When making those images, I noticed that they've removed Goblin Drill and replaced it with elite barbarians. So Goblin Drill, I don't remember the common, the rare version. The epic version I remember, it spawned like 8 or 16 Evo Goblin Drills, so this would be here somewhere, completely overpowered. Another card they removed was Vines. So Vines, the common variant, created a bigger radius with more hits. It would be like 3 or 4 because it just meant you would activate the King Tower more easily. Not very good. Then the rare version would spawn Bush Goblins. That would be 2. Unless your opponent knows how to react to that. And the epic version would be here because it's created regularly vines, like indefinitely. So just vine one thing over and over again. And unlike poison, which deals low DPS per second to crown towers, vines would be actually frightening to have on your tower indefinitely. It can destroy by itself crown towers. So you would have to watch out. Your opponent can place it on the bridge, so you can't make a single push. There was the worst thing about epic vines, like it was completely overpowered. So if we rank those now in its rank, I think the most broken one is this one here. They're having 4 goblin brawls on your tower, it's just you can't do anything. This is also really strong. Gun barrel. Musketeer is more for funsies. She isn't that strong if your opponent has poison. This one is... If you get this one, it's an auto win. Though those buffs you get late in game, but if you get this at first, you don't even go to overtime. Poison, great all-rounder. You can also get pretty early. Musketeer. I think Musketeer is better than Oven. This I think is better. P.E.K.K.A. the same with Knight. If you get it really early, it can basically win you the game. With here, Wizard Fireball, shooting fireballs, zapping is good. If you spam Princess primarily on the bridge, this will give you a lot more damage. Oven at the beginning can be pretty good. Bandit is fun. Just more damage or bigger range. 3, 4 don't feel particularly strong with any of those. 5 the same. They're all just in their own soup. 6 in this category, the worst. Fisherman. Ice Spirit still kinda useful. It does its job way better. It's just pretty boring. Flying machine could be useful. Expo is just really weird. This can be, if you're lucky, all the zaps connect to the princess tower, dealing damage. I don't really know the deal with giving Royal Giant Splash. Then the absolute worst of the worst. I think the worst of all of them, I think, is having ice with a bigger splash. It could kill more swarms. I think a fisherman, like giving fisherman a bigger, giving it the ability to hook air cards when there are only 2 air cards. Like, what were they thinking? It just sound cooler. Well, fisherman can't hook air cards, so just give it the ability to hook air cards. And I forgot that there are only 2 air cards in the entire game mode. This one's also extremely useless. Use skellies. Yeah, this should. Evil bats. I mean, if your opponent for some reason doesn't know how to exploit this, it can be behind a tank or something. I don't know. Like, how could you get overwhelmed by bats in this game mode? And I think this should fit. Yeah. So again, I hope you enjoyed this. If you want me to rank for the coming season as 2 being there in a few days, maybe if you watch this, it's already season 2, then you can like and leave a comment. If you disagree, like, I bet people will completely disagree with some of those rankings, just let me know, and have a great day in those very hot times. Bye.